The forest is quiet. Lena sits still, gripping the glowing card in her hand. When suddenly, a portal tears open beside her. Without hesitation, a figure steps through. Daisuke emerges from the light. Lena's eyes widen in shock. Daisuke looks at her calmly and says, "You did great, Lena." Relief washes over her. She exhales and says, "Thank goodness you really came back." She steadies herself, then adds, "You said you would, and you did." Daisuke gives a small nod. He asks, "You mentioned something earlier. What did you want to ask me?" Lena turns, urgency in her eyes. She says, "Please come with me." The two begin running through the forest. Branches snap beneath their feet as they push forward. Moments later, the village comes into view, but something feels wrong. The streets are empty, homes are damaged, supplies are scattered across the ground. Daisuke slows down, scanning the area. He thinks to himself, what happened here? As they move deeper into the village, villagers begin to emerge from hiding. A voice calls out, "Lena has returned." A small child runs toward her. With teary eyes, the child says, "Thank goodness, we're so glad you came back, Lena." Lena smiles gently. She places a hand on the child's head and says, "I'm fine because I'm strong after all." Daisuke watches silently, taking in the damage, the fear, the exhaustion on every face. Lena turns to him. Her expression grows serious. She says, "Until now, this village has been under the control of a tamer." Daisuke raises an eyebrow. He asks, "A tamer?" Lena nods. She explains, "Someone who can command monsters at will." She continues, "Half a year ago, he set his sights on this village's harvest." Her voice tightens. She says, "He attacked with hordes of powerful monsters." The scene shifts, flashes of the past unfold, villagers fighting desperately, only to be overwhelmed. Lena's voice echoes over the memory. She says, "The villagers resisted, but they couldn't stand against them." More flashes. Homes burning, people being dragged away. She continues, "The women were taken, and our food and money were stolen again and again." The memory sharpens. Lena stands before a man, Murdoch. She grips her sword and declares, "Release this village and its people, Murdoch." Murdoch smirks. He says, "You've got some skill, but it's not nearly enough." He raises his hand. A monstrous creature steps forward. He says coldly, "In this world, the strong rule." He smirks wider. He adds, "And that would be me." He gestures forward. He commands, "Go, lizardman." The monster lunges. Lena blocks the attack. Steel clashes. But more monsters surround her. She fights back. But the numbers overwhelm her. Murdoch laughs. He says, "Just like every woman in this village, I'll make you mine." Lena grits her teeth. Injured, outnumbered, she whispers, "There are too many." She turns and retreats. The scene snaps back to the present. Daisuke looks at Lena with concern. She lowers her gaze. She says, "I was powerless against him." She clenches her fists. She continues, "All I've been able to do is eliminate his weaker underlings." She looks up at him. Her voice softens. She says, "But then I met you." A small spark of hope shines in her eyes. She says, "For the first time, I saw a chance." She hesitates, then bows her head slightly. She says, "I know this is selfish, but please." She looks at him directly. She says, "Daisuke, lend me your strength." There's a brief silence. Then Daisuke smiles. He says, "Of course, I'll help you however I can." Lena's eyes widen, relief, surprise, hope all at once. Daisuke's expression sharpens. He adds, "There's no way I can forgive what they've done." He looks around at the broken village. He says, "And seeing how much this means to you, I can't just ignore it." Lena steps forward and suddenly grabs him. She says, "I'm truly grateful that someone like you exists." Before he can respond, a small child approaches again. The child looks up at Lena and asks, "Are you really going to defeat the bad people?" Lena kneels down. She smiles gently. She says, "I will bring your mother back, I promise." She pats the child's head. She adds, "So be brave and wait for us, all right." The child nods. Lena stands. She turns to Daisuke. She says, "Murdoch has built a mansion deep within the forest." Her grip tightens on her sword. She says, "This time I will not fail." Daisuke reaches for his weapon. He checks it, loads it. His eyes sharpen with resolve. He says, "All right, let's go." The two step forward. Together,